to Disney Odd Pod.
I'm Kat.
I'm Dee.
And this week, it's a journey to Imagination Land. If you don't watch South Park, you won't get the reference.
Inside Out from 2015.
Inside Out is the nation's #1 family movie. Rolling Stone calls it a flat-out masterpiece. Forbes says it's one of the best pictures of the year. And Variety raves it's the greatest idea Pixar has ever had. Inside Out in 3D, rated PG.
It was okay. It wasn't Pixar's best effort. There was a lot of interesting parts, but it was really tropey.
I really liked it. I thought it was really good.
I didn't say it wasn't good. It's just not Pixar's best.
Correct, sir.
Well, I mean, you can't have a Toy Story every time you make a movie. I mean, I don't think that's possible. But, I don't know. I thought it was a really well thought out concept, and it was...
Conceptually is great, but executionally, it's just like a buddy road movie.
I really liked it. I thought it was one of the better ones, actually. Like, I liked it a lot. But it was better than I thought it was going to be. Because I knew the concept already. But I didn't know the details of the story or anything. So.
Yeah. I think that's where it lost me a bit, is with the story. The story was kind of weak.
I mean, they probably could have added more to it. Maybe if they added a couple more scenes or something.
Or like a villain.
Well, the villain was the situation.
And what is your name, sir?
Situation. Situation.
One moment.
Hello, Sanchez. Who are we going to pick up?
Situation.
The moving from Minnesota.
To evil San Francisco.
Yeah, they ruined pizza. I mean, what do you expect?
I'm done.
Congratulations, San Francisco. You've ruined pizza. First the Hawaiians, and now you.
Pretty impressed, actually. I really liked it.
I was impressed by a lot of things in this movie. Don't get me wrong. It's really cool.
This is one of the few ones where I go, oh yeah, I could see doing a sequel to this.
Oh, totally.
Or a TV show or something.
The puberty button.
Yeah, I mean, do you think they set that up on purpose?
I think it was in their mind, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me read the synopsis really quick. Yes, you can watch this on Disney Plus, like all the other Pixar movies, obviously. Inside Out. Coming of age family animation. Growing up can be a bumpy road, and it's no exception for Riley, who is uprooted from her Midwest life when her father starts a new job in San Francisco. Like all of us, Riley is guided by her emotions: joy, fear, anger, disgust, and sadness. The emotions live in headquarters, the control center inside Riley's mind, where they help to advise her through everyday life. As Riley and her emotions struggle to adjust to a new life, turmoil ensues in headquarters. Although joy, Riley's main and most important emotion, tries to keep things positive, the emotions conflict on how best to navigate a new city, house, and school. Some flashing light sequences and patterns maybe affect photosensitive viewers.
Boom.
It may cause your emotions to go haywire. But no, I will say my favorite part was when they were going inside the parents' heads.
Yeah.
All the other kids' heads and stuff at the end after the credits. I thought that was very funny.
Right, which I thought should have been more a part of this.
Yeah, the dinner table scene was really funny.
It really was.
I really liked that.
And that's kind of the bummer of the movie, is that the best parts were just the little part.
Uh-oh, she's looking at us. What did she say?
Oh, sorry, sir. No one was listening.
Is it garbage night? We left the toilet seat up. What is it, woman? What?
Yeah, and just how they added all the little things about how your memory works and how, like, the characters that were, like, taking the old, useless memories away, but they kept that stupid...
The gum
thing.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, it just was really clever. The whole thing was
There was
very
a lot
clever.
of clever elements to the movie. That's what I'm saying, is that part of the movie is executed as a 10 out of 10, but it's that story that's kind of dragging it down a little bit.
They could have done a little bit more. I still really, really enjoyed it. The directors were more like writers and storyboard people.
Yeah,
and
Pete Docter, who had written a million Pixar movies.
Yeah, biggest ones, Monsters,
Toy Story.
Inc. Oh, okay, he did write on Toy Story. I didn't see that one, but he also directed Monsters, Inc., Up, and Soul.
He also wrote this movie along with Ronnie Del Carmen, and this is basically the only thing he's done.
Yeah, he's more of like a storyboard person. I mean, he's done a lot of storyboard animation.
This is one of those Pixar everybody pitched in, except for they only had half the staff as a normal Pixar movie, which is
crazy because it looked amazing.
Yeah, but it looked amazing, but it didn't look like crazy amazing.
But I kind of liked it that way. Like, it was a little bit less... Like, okay, think back to when we watched, which is not Pixar, but when we watched Beauty and the Beast, the new one, where it was too sensory overwhelming.
Yeah.
Some of the Pixar movies can be a little bit too overwhelming. This was perfect, I felt like.
Sure.
The voice acting, they had a crazy cast.
Was there anybody in the cast that's not famous?
No.
I don't think so.
And that's what was crazy, is every single person, I was like, oh my God.
Even the mind dump people, it was Paul Poundstone and Bobby Moynihan. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
It was amazing. And no, my favorite, though, is Sadness.
Oh, we just fell down. We should cry.
Sadness, no!
We can't cry in front of other kids! Stop her!
Stop it, Sadness!
I can't help it, Joy. I'm entering a sadness spiral.
Disgusting.
Well, Phyllis, yeah.
But it was just...
She did an excellent job.
So perfect.
Yeah.
And, like, it was just... I love her character, and I love it so... Like, oh my God, it was so perfect.
But then we also had Amy Poehler as Joy.
Oh, hello. I'm Joy. So, can I just... If you could... I just want to fix that. Thanks.
Who was awesome and
It was
amazing.
basically her playing, what's her face?
Leslie Knope?
Leslie Knope, yeah.
Yeah. And then Bill Hader as Fear.
Thank you, Joy. But I'll have you know, I'm not scared of everything.
Oh, my feet! They feel possessed! Take them off, Marsha!
Which was also strangely perfect.
Yeah. Lewis Black as Anger, which is exactly perfect.
Being a teenager, it's a dumpster fire of fuckery.
I was reading in the fun facts that they said you have to do it. Like, they wrote the character
for Lewis Black,
Which I don't honestly know exactly what he's from.
Because you don't watch Daily Show.
Oh,
he's known for... He has a segment, Back in Black, on the Daily Show where he rants, raves, and screams and gets pissed off about stuff in the news. And it's very funny, and he's hilarious.
Okay, that everything is coming into focus.
Like, he's known for screaming on television,
Everything's coming into focus. Even Mindy Kaling, who I'm not a huge fan of, but she did a really good job as discussed.
I like Mindy Kaling. She's fine. I mean, she's Kelly Kapoor.
Yes, I know.
And then I'm going to have to shout out Richard Kind as Bing Bong.
I know.
Old Andy from...
Well, now that I watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, I'm like, oh my God, it's perfect. And then I was even surprised at the parents. Kyle MacLachlan is the dad.
Yeah. Well, wait, the mom is...
Diane Lane.
Yeah, Diane Lane. Like, it's crazy.
Famous. Every single voice actor in this is super famous. Yeah. So it's just...
Except for the girl.
Well, yeah, she was like 11 years old when they did this, because they wanted to make it realistic. So, except for her. But everyone else was famous. So I thought the voice acting was on point. I really thought it was all kind of cohesively worked well together. It's not like they just stuck a bunch of famous people together and it didn't work. Sorry, Beauty and the Beast again, it didn't work.
Yeah, right.
But this worked really, really well.
Right. They didn't put Hermione Granger in as Anger.
I'm just very upset right now.
It's just the same as making her the hot beauty. No.
Did you get any fun facts, David?
It was tough. We mentioned one of them, the Lewis Black thing. They put different versions of the movie out with the dad imagining either soccer or hockey, depending on the country.
Which is funny. But also weird. Because you're in America, so you think it should just be football, but...
well, no, he comes from Minnesota. He's a hockey guy.
Oh, right. Oh, it was hockey.
It should have just been hockey for everybody, but whatever.
Well, which actually, having now watched The Mighty Ducks and understanding how big of a deal hockey is...
To certain people,
Because here, it's not as big of a deal.
No, here it's not a big deal at all.
West Coast, it's not as big of a deal.
I would say outside of California, yeah.
Yeah, so this makes complete sense.
Yeah.
The writers considered 27 different emotions for this movie, but they narrowed on 5 to make it less complicated. Some of the last to get cut were surprise.
Surprise, yeah, that's so silly.
Pride and trust.
I thought... there should have been some evil emotions in there somewhere. Greed or jealousy or something like that.
Jealousy would have been a good one.
Those should have been the evil ones that have like their own...
They
could have been like villains. It would have been better like that.
Because then when Joy was off doing her, trying to save the things, they could have been like wreaking havoc.
Right, instead of having the other emotions just fucking up.
Yeah, that's a good point. That could have been good.
That's kind of where I'm getting with the whole, like, the story. And even in the fun facts, they mentioned that there was a ton of plot holes. The story was not tight on this movie. Like, they needed somebody to come in and be like, hey, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Hey, buddy. There's some things here.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I didn't think about that, but that's a really good...
Could have made it cool.
Smart.
Could have made it cool.
Riley's chief emotion is joy. Mom's is sadness, acting as a more complex emotion, empathy. And Dad's is anger, acting as protectiveness.
Right.
Is a more
but that's dealing with her, it's anger.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I don't know, that's cheap, but okay.
The last one I had was, this received an 8-minute standing ovation at the world premiere.
That's bullshit.
I don't think it is. I really liked it.
I wonder how much Pixar paid for that.
I really paid
8-minute standing Come on.
I mean, I know that you don't have a lot of feelings, but, you know, it's okay.
It just was not that evocative. I have feelings for movies that are evocative of feelings, and this was not it.
That's fine. I can understand why you might feel that way.
Oh no, Bing Bong.
Shut up, don't talk about it, it's too soon.
Too soon for Bing Bong.
Yeah, it's too soon.
It sounds amazing. I bet Riley liked it.
Oh, she did. We were best friends.
Yeah, it's sad.
And even from the beginning of the movie, so let's just get into it, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's that time.
The way they did the whole concept of her being born and joy just comes out, and that's her primary emotion. So
well, that's kind of your first emotion.
Yeah.
Although I would argue
fear
or anger is your first emotion.
Or confusion? Is that an emotion?
No, I think it's anger, because think about how, like, a 2-year-old's super angry.
Yeah, which that they did show that. It was basically the whole intro was them explaining just how memories are formed, and it forms these different pillars of your personality, or islands of your personality, based on these core memories, which I think is really true. I mean, that's a very true thing, because if you think back to when you're a kid, there's certain core memories that stand out and shape who you are as a person.
Each one came from a super important time in Riley's life. Like when she first scored a goal. That was so amazing. And each core memory powers a different aspect of Riley's personality.
But they do
change.
And
if you think about how they're destroyed, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it changes over time. And I think part of that, it was just a really interesting concept, because it was like Joy was freaking out about it, but she wasn't understanding that...
She didn't understand sadness at all.
Yeah, until the end of the movie, that it's a natural part of life.
And so that's going to be the weird thing to talk about. This is not a lot actually happens.
No, it's very emotional.
I think I got 3 pages of notes out of this.
Well, that's actually more than I got, so we're good.
There you go. Yeah, okay.
No, because the whole opening scene is very long, and it's very... Yeah. But it's explaining everything.
And it shows, like, the core memories and all that stuff. But then, all of a sudden, boom, we're moving to San Francisco into this crusty row house with a dead mouse.
Oh my god, that was funny. When they go into the house and the fear and disgust are like, oh, it's a dead mouse!
I really liked Disgust. I thought that was a great character.
Yeah, no, it's a really good emotion. Because you don't really think of it as like a strong emotion, but it really is. It is, though. Yeah.
Or if you don't have a lot of disgust emotion, then you're kind of like weird.
Yeah, no, that's true. It was really good. Yeah. Riley's kind of changing because sadness keeps touching the feelings.
And the memories. But if you think about it, that's kind of the natural progression of life, is some of those fond memories become sad because you never have that again.
Right. And so because of this emotional trauma it's what it is to her.
But in Joy's world, this is causing serious trouble. Sadness is just fucking everything up.
Well, but it's for Riley. It's the same thing, because she's like, oh my god, and I thought it was going to turn into a puberty thing in the movie, because I was like, oh, she's changing, so her emotions are changing, that's why the memories are changing.
I thought this was more about depression, and it's not.
Yeah, which they could have gone more into that, and they could have had like you said, a greed emotion, but it could have been like just eating, like depression eating.
But then we go into the first day of school. Sadness touches another memory while she's giving a speech in class, and she starts bawling in the middle of class on her first day of school.
Yeah, and this makes Joy flip out.
Yeah.
And so Joy is actually the one who fucks everything up.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because she knocks over all the core memories, and they get sucked up the thing.
Well, because a core memory got made in Sadness for the first time ever. Mm-hmm. And she just really flipped out.
She's like, oh, that can't happen. Yeah. And, they all get sucked up, and so she goes after it, Sadness goes after it, and they get sucked up.
Yeah, Sadness is going after her. She's like, what the fuck? That's my core memory, bitch.
Yeah, it's really, you feel so bad for her. You just hear Phyllis's little voice, and it's just... And honestly, throughout the whole movie, that was the other thing, is I wasn't distracted by like, oh, that's that person. Not at all. I didn't know who Sadness was, and then I read the credits, and I was like, "Oh, duh!
Yeah,
it's Phyllis from The Office."
I didn't either.
It makes perfect sense.
I didn't recognize Amy Poehler's old voice either. So
I did recognize that. Okay. And I think I remember somewhere, probably in the subconscious of my memory,
in the metaverse,
seeing her do like an interview about it or something. Yeah. So
I didn't know who anybody was, so I'm just going to unspoil that. So this is where we meet the parents' inner people.
Oh, yeah, the dinner table.
She's sitting at the dinner table without joy, sadness, and her core memories, and she's being a bitch.
Yeah, she's feeling horrible. But the best one was when the mom, like, they're like, we left the hot guy in
Brazil pilot,
for this guy, because the dad's, like, not paying attention. Oh, shit, what'd she say? What'd she say? Stop looking at me. I thought it was really funny.
It was very funny. After the fight with the parents and the girl, the dad comes up and tries to tickle her out of it, and Goofball Island dies.
Yeah, and that was where Joy... We flip back to Joy and Sadness, and they kind of see it dying, and they're like, oh no, and...
Well, they were on the thing. They were trying to traipse from there, and they had to rescue themselves out.
Yeah, and this is where they meet, like, the memory cleanup.
The mind workers.
Yeah, they're like, oh, presidents. Oh, just remember Washington, Lincoln, and the fat one, or something like that.
4 years of piano lessons.
Yeah, it looks pretty faded.
You know what? Save chopsticks and heart and soul, get rid of the rest.
And, which I thought was really funny. And just their whole thing about the mint catch song, where they're like, oh, sometimes we just throw it up there just because it's so funny. Because that happens all the time. You get something random stuck in your head.
Some stupid song stuck
constantly.
In your head. Yeah.
Like, everybody has a different one they get stuck in their head.
Sure, and it changes year to year and time to time.
Oh, and then she's like on a call with her friend.
Yeah, and so this is really weird. It's like early Zoom call or Skype or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, 2015 or...
Yeah, no, I know, but I mean, now it's like totally accepted as part of the culture. Even though this was 2015, true. Now it's like completely...
Yeah.
Well, normal.
Having friends in faraway places isn't as big of a deal. It's a lot more easy to sustain a friendship long distance than it used to be. And she gets all mad because...
She already met a new bestie.
And she's like, oh, this is my new friend. She's so cool. Which to her friend, I'm like, you're kind of being a jerk. Like, oh.
I don't know about that. You're just living your life and reporting it back to your friend.
I think you have to be a girl to kind of understand it.
Maybe. I also feel that this movie is definitely more catered to females.
Because if I moved away and then my old friend was like, oh, here's this new girl, you would think like, oh, she's replacing me.
No.
Like you would, but that's the thing. That is a very good observation because men and women the emotions do operate very differently.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I kind of understood why she was angry more than you probably did.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Because I was like, oh, really? It's
I'd be
like that.
Oh, what's up, homie? Don't you know me?
Because I was like disgust. I was like, oh, really? I was disgusted, as disgust was disgusted.
So Friendship Island crumbles, and then we meet Bing Bong, the elephant, cat, dolphin imaginary friend.
I kept calling him Billabong throughout the entire movie.
He's Bing Bong.
I know he's Bing Bong, but...
Bing Bong.
Wait, Bing Bong? Bing Bong!
You made it! Go save Riley! Take her to the moon for me. Okay?
But and they did have a clip of that earlier in the movie where she was like singing the song about her imaginary. She was like, "Who's your best friend, Bing Bong?" It's Riley's imaginary friend.
So he's helping them trying to catch the train of thought.
He's helping. And they get stuck in abstract thought. I love this part.
Yeah,
I thought this was so funny. Because they're like, oh, there's something in there. We're going to clean it out. And they get turned into weird shapes. And they're, oh my God, we're this. Because the other thing is Sadness knows how to get back because... Joy made her read all these manuscripts just to like distract her, so she
all the manuals,
and she's like, "We shouldn't go in there." And Joy's like, "Oh, come on,
we should just go around." Yeah, he says it's a shortcut. Danger.
And then they end up getting out of there thanks to Sadness because she's like, "Fall on your face,"
right?
And they get out of there into Imagination Land.
Right, which is a crazy, crazy, crazy place where the next station is supposed to be. Yeah. But, like, a whole bunch of it is getting torn down, and Bing Bong gets confused.
Yeah, because it's her growing up. Like, her imagination is dying, because when you're a kid...
It's not even her imagination's dying. It's that she's just forgetting her imagination from preschool and, before. Because you don't remember the things that... That's how life works.
It was very creative, and I think that's part of why I like this movie so much, is, like, everything tied into, oh, that would actually be a thing. It could be real.
Oh, that's the Stuffed Animal Hall of Fame.
This is where everyone's a winner. She's like, oh, participation trophy. Funny. And this is where they flip back to the hockey temper tantrum, right?
Right, and then... So she has a temper tantrum during hockey because she fucks up.
Yeah.
And Hockey Island goes down.
Because they're trying to shove all these old hockey memories in there.
Into the core memories thing.
And it doesn't work. So it just confuses her. And her mom's like, what the hell is going on? Which... So, I know what they could have added to this. Like, stuff like when she was having her tantrum, it could have flipped back to the mom's brain.
Right.
And, like, different...
Right.
And, like...
Right.
You know, when she was crying and the teacher was there, it could have flipped to the teacher's brain. It could have flipped to the cool girl's brain. Like, I think it would have enhanced it more if they flipped more to the other people's brains.
Right. A lot less focus on Joy.
Yeah.
Joy didn't need to be the main character of this movie.
No, it should have been just all of the emotions of all the people and even the animals, as we saw in the post-credits, which was really low-key the funniest part of the whole movie.
It was.
Was the cats, but, you know, it's okay.
Or the dogs.
Or the dogs.
Does he have food?
Oh, yeah, so... Back...
So then there's all these people... deconstructing Imagination Land, and we basically see Bing Bong die in front of us.
He doesn't die yet.
He emotionally dies.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But then Sadness comes in and, like, cuddles with him.
Oh, yeah, and it was so sweet. And Joy's like,
and she's helping, and then Joy kind of, but not all the way, sees how Sadness helps.
Yeah, because it's okay to be sad sometimes.
It is okay to be sad
appropriately,
yeah.
And
because the rocket got thrown into the dump.
It was really sad.
So, and then at this point, Anger gets the brilliant idea and screws it in for them to run away back to Minnesota to make more core memories.
Which, like you said, this could have been tied into other emotions.
This is my least favorite plot part. They needed to do something different here. This does not work. It doesn't check out. Like, I hate this. I fucking hate this.
Because it's
so tropey and so weak.
They could have done something a little more. I will agree with you on that.
Well, no, this is where having, like, the jealousy or the evil or the greed or having anger being on the other side or something really could have helped drive it. She didn't need to run away. It would have been better if she would have acted out at school or something.
Like gotten fights.
Gotten a fight or like something more crazy. Not more crazy because that getting on a Greyhound and running away is really crazy, but just more localized, more...
Yeah. She could have, like, met the bad girls or something, or, like...
Right, and, like, stolen money from her mom's purse to buy, like, something bad, but not too bad for a Pixar movie.
Yeah, I mean, They could have just done something else, I think.
I didn't like this part.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, they could have done...
And it's not like I didn't like it because it's like, oh, it made me uncomfortable. It's like, no, I didn't like it because it's not realistic.
Right, no, and I mean, it was just not... I agree. They could have just done something different.
Right.
Is this where they go to... They're on the train. Joy and Sadness and Bing Bong are on the train to get back to headquarters, but the train stops because she falls asleep, right?
Yeah, and they go into the dreamland. Which is where Sadness wanted to scare her awake, and stupid-ass Joy wanted to make her happy awake, which has happened to no one ever.
How about we wake her up?
Great idea, Joy.
Thanks. Come on.
Huh. Wonder what that means. Oh, well, let's go in.
Exhilaration will excite her awake.
That's never happened before.
Ooh, Riley loves dogs. Put this on.
If we scare her?
Just follow my lead.
The Dream Production Land
is great.
Is also low-key one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The whole idea of it's awesome.
They're like making a TV show. And, we got a lot to work with today. We got crying in class.
It's like, blah, blah, blah. I want to work there.
And the also funny part when they walk by like the unicorn rainbow princess, they're like, oh, I loved you and blah, 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 blah.
And then later when they're walking by the rainbow princess and she has like 50 cupcakes on her tray.
Yeah, super funny.
Yeah.
They just crash the whole scene, and they end up, like, acting as a dog, but then they're like, oh, we gotta get scared, or we gotta scare her.
Well, yeah, Sadness rips the dog in half to try and scare her.
And it works.
Sadness knows. Well, it kind of works. It gets her...
Yeah, because the dog is, like, cut in half.
Yeah, and chasing its other half. But then the police come and Bing Bong gets arrested and taken into the little jail thing, and they go follow because Bing Bong has the core memories with him.
Yeah. It's the subconscious.
Yeah, so they go into the subconscious, and there's this spooky clown guarding Bing Bong.
It's wrapped him up in like a animal.
No, it's a cage made out of balloons.
Yeah,
because
it's
of course it's a clown.
And they're running in there. It's every part of this movie is so creative and amazing because they're like Grandma's vacuum. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, they go through all the fears.
Yeah,
in the subconscious. Yeah, that is really cool. And see, that's the thing where I get really mixed emotions. Oh my goodness!
Oh my
about
god!
About this movie is that there are some things like that are really cool, and then we cut back to the buddy road movie that we've all seen before. And
yeah,
it really is a slog.
So they decide to wake up the clown to go back. Like they lure him back to the production.
They say, "Hey, you want? Oh, there's a party where he can perform. Yeah, that's right."
Yeah.
Follow us, and he like hammers his way out of the jail, and they take him to the dream world, and that of course scares her right away.
The scene actually where she's stealing her mom's money, this would have been a good like greed.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Because it's
a better driver, and it's something that works better than just having
anger,
like core emotions that fuck up.
Because greed is a core emotion. I mean, it really is. Like,
I agree. It's one of those things that your parents kind of have to drive out of you.
And it would have been effective, like, if it would have been greed, having, like, another two emotions, and the other fear and disgust were, like, trying to help, and they were, like, hold them back or something, you know, we've been held back for too long or something, and, like, you know, trying to do the thing. But, so then she buys the train ticket. Oh, God. The bus ticket, yeah. Back in Mindland.
So the Honesty Island falls.
Yeah, when she takes the money. And there's like a tube that goes back to headquarters.
Yeah, a recall tube. And Joy says, oh no, Sadness, you keep touching the memories and making them blue. I have to go alone, and Joy gets in there, but then it breaks and launches her into the dump?
Yeah, and didn't, like, Bing Bong... Oh, Bing Bong ended up down there before, right?
Okay, I'm a little lost at this part. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, one way or the other, Joy and Bing Bong end up at the bottom in the dump, and they have to get out. And Joy basically emotionally completely falls the fuck apart, and she's, like, crying, and
this part is
she's
really
seeing
sad.
all these weird memories of things that are good and things that are bad. And she finally understands sadness. She gets, oh, this is the point of sadness. Now I understand. Oh my god, we gotta get out of here. Well, come on, Bing Bong, help me.
And it doesn't make any sense why Bing Bong is like slowly melting away and Joy's
No, because he's a memory. Well, Joy is a...
Emotion.
I don't think that she can...
Okay, fair enough. But
she's like a god in the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But she gets the idea to get his, like, rocket, what is it? His sled, or I don't know what it is, but...
It's a rocket, because it's what he was going to take, what's the girl's name?
Riley.
He was going to take Riley to the moon in the rocket.
So they're singing, and it keeps falling, and so then he decides to sacrifice himself.
Yeah, which is good. It's smart. And Kelly bawled like a little baby when Bing Bong sacrificed himself, and I had no idea that it was supposed to be that emotional.
It is sad.
I was like, oh, good for you, Bing Bong. And he's like, yeah, you do it for me, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, good for you, Bing Bong. I was like, oh my god, Bing Bong.
Shut up. It was sad. It was really sad.
I didn't think it was that sad. You're supposed to forget your imaginary friend.
Right, but that's why it's sad.
I just disagree, I guess. In the most hilarious scene to follow the saddest scene, Joy builds 900,000 boyfriends.
Oh, forgot about the boyfriends. Well, so earlier, so first Joy has to find Sadness, and Sadness, like, ends up on a cloud or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Crying.
And she's all upset, but yeah, because there's like in Imagination Land, there's an imaginary boyfriend, and he's like, I would die for Riley. And she's like, you ready to prove it? And she just makes like 500 of them.
Yeah.
And makes them like stack up.
Well, she puts them all in the bag, and then as they like unstack themselves out of the bag on top of each other. Balls and catches the cloud with her wind direction blown sadness.
But as they're falling, they're like, for Riley!
Yeah, for Riley,
which I thought was really funny.
Then they smack into headquarters. Sadness and Joy smack into the outside of headquarters. They're melted into the window. And Sadness has to save the day. You have to save the day.
Yeah. And
which she does.
Yeah, she basically, because Riley goes home and...
Let me off the bus. Which if you're on one of those buses, they don't let you off the bus.
No, they do not. But she does. In all the movies. That happens in all the movies. Like, let me off the bus. In real life, no. They'd be like, sit the fuck down.
Please sit down, ma'am. We're on a bus.
But yeah, Sadness saves the day. Because she makes kind of all the memories start to be sad.
Well, right, and there's that sad. Well, when Riley reconnects with her parents, it's a sad memory, but with like a strip of happiness, and that's when they start to learn to make different colored marbles, multicolored marbles.
Right, because memories are not. That was the whole thing that Joy had to learn, was that memories are not one emotion.
Well, and I figure I think that that's a smart thing, because as you grow, so when you're young, of course, they're this emotion, that emotion, that emotion.
Right.
But as you get older and more mature, they become a little bit more blended memories of like, oh yeah, this has a little this, that, and this.
And that's why the story we already talked about could have used a little work, but it was very clever. Like, the concept was executed really well.
Right, so because after this, all the memories have multicolors.
Right. I mean, that's, like,
and there's like tons of new islands.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, Vampire Blah Blah Island, and da-da-da. Like, because you start learning, that makes total sense, because you start learning all these different, like, I would have a Sailor Moon Island. I'm just saying. Like,
I would have had Metal Island.
Cat Island. But yeah, the end credits thing where they're going in all the different people's heads was really funny.
One of the best parts of the movie, which is not a good sign to have the end credits be one of the best parts of the movie. Well, I mean,
it's just, and that's the thing, is they should have used that inside other people's heads concept more, because it would have added richness, because the best part of the movie was the dinner scene where they went into the mom and the dad's head.
Agreed.
And if they would have created more opportunities for that, it would have been a better movie.
So was there any music in this movie?
No, there was, other than in like general score music, there was literally no songs.
Yeah.
But it's a Pixar movie. They don't have songs. We've talked about this.
Randy Newman.
There was no Randy Newman on this.
The characters were exactly what they said they were. Sadness.
I love
Bing Bong.
Sadness so much. Fear. Okay, so Sadness actually was one of my favorite characters.
Disgust.
That I've seen in a movie in a long time. I really liked her, just her whole character and the voice and all of it. It was great.
Okay.
I'm just gonna wait.
But there was no villain in this movie, which really fucked it up, in my opinion.
No, I mean, I agree. They did miss an opportunity that would have been better to have the negative emotions, like fucking stuff up, and with the story and going into other people's heads more, and there was some missed opportunities there.
Yeah. So, I mean, the characters we had were good, but they missed a few throws at the dartboard. The cinematography is fantastic, obviously.
Like, the use of color, as things were dying or memories were changing, and I think that's part of why visually and just the whole concept, I'm in love with this movie.
You know what I'm going to say, and I think I've nailed where they had half the people work on it? This was the least busy Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Which really kind of helped it, because it was focused on all the cool core aspects.
Yeah.
And not like all the, look at it, I can see everything.
Well, I mean, even in Imagination Land, the House of Cards, it's just, and it just, every little touch they did was just so good in all of it.
I didn't have a Moochie moment for this movie.
So I got, all right, we did not die today. I call that an unqualified success.
Yeah, that is a good one. I did like that. I did like that quote. Yeah, that was good. So surprisingly, this was extraordinarily creative.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, kind of the same surprise for me. Pixar just never ceases to surprise me with all of how they give so much personality. Any little tiny side character or bit they have, you can see that's a fully formed thing with just the people dumping out the emotions. You can get a sense of what that character is by just the little lines of dialogue they have. Right.
And their function makes perfect sense.
Even in the cloud world people, like the little cloud thing, like everything they do is perfect in terms of the characters and development.
Right. So, and for disappointment, it was light on story. I've touched on it.
Yeah, and we've already talked about if we remade it, we would just add those other negative emotions and...
Yeah, my whole point is if it was being remade, I would get creative with the story, find some evil.
I agree. I agree with that. They definitely would have made it a little more impactful. But, I mean, for my fun, it's a really good movie. Like, I was really invested in the characters and the story, and, like, I was like, oh, what's going to happen? Like, I was really into it, the entire movie.
You know, I'll say it, and I'll say it again. It was good, but it's not Pixar's best.
I don't know. I really liked it, but
Tastes like I loved the movie.
I really did. I really liked it. The budget was $175 million, but they made $858 million.
Really?
Whoa. Which seems like low.
Well, yeah, but who watched this movie? I don't know.
Well, and that's kind of unfortunate is that I don't understand why, like, okay, people look at, like, Cars, for example. This is way better than Cars. I'm sorry, but, like...
It is way better.
And Cars has, like, 3 sequels.
Yeah.
Like, and also, like, as much as I really liked Up...
But this doesn't have Get Her Done.
Like, yeah, as much as I really liked Up, this is better than Up.
Which Pete Docter also wrote Up.
Yeah, in which I did like Up, but I thought this was a better movie, but yet Up gets more attention. Like, this doesn't seem to get as much attention.
Up had a lot more emotional pull than this movie. So, what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie is?
What do I think the Rotten Tomatoes score?
Yeah, what do you think it is?
It's gotta be really high. I mean, I'm gonna guess like a 80%?
The Rotten Tomatoes score with the critics is 98%.
It's pretty good.
And with the people, it's 89%.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So it's beloved by smart people.
Yeah.
But what is Kat's score for this movie?
I really like this movie. I gave it an 88%.
Oh god, that's a high score.
I really liked it. Like, the whole... the reason I think when I got so emotional when Billabong, like, floated away, it was the whole...
Bing Bong, not Billabong.
Sorry,
Come on.
Bing Bong, my bad. Sorry.
It's emotional about it, but she can't remember the character's name.
I think it was more of actually carryover from Joy being, like, realizing her whole, oh, it's okay to be sad, and, like, it was just really good.
Good arc that makes Kat sit still. I really like this movie. I give it a 75%.
Woo!
I thought it was good. Once again, not Pixar's best, not one of my favorite movies. I really like it. I would definitely show this movie to my 5-year-old. Like, and then maybe again when they're 7 and maybe again when they're 9, because I think this is kind of an important movie for kids.
Yeah, it definitely... Just the whole way
it's good for empathy. It's good for a lot of things. Like, it works.
Well, and even as a new parent, like, understanding your kids don't understand emotions
the same way you do.
Yeah, you can't talk to them like they're an adult because they don't understand emotions the way that you do.
Yeah, their board is small.
They don't have the same islands that you do.
Well, or the same board.
Yeah.
Because the board gets bigger the older they get. The control board, yeah.
Because they have more complex emotions.
Yeah,
and so
everybody has to get involved.
It's so good. Just all of it was so good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, good.
Is the next movie going to be as enjoyable? I don't fucking know.
We will find out, because now it's time for Kat's favorite part of the podcast. And our movie is 293. Number 293 is...
Did it come out in the 2000s?
Well, yeah, of course.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Is it like early 2000s? Is it before or after Inside Out?
Way before.
Way before. So, God, I have no idea.
So, from 2006, we have Invincible. I have no idea.
This is floating something in the subconscious. It's definitely not animated, I know that, but...
I don't think it's even a Disney movie. It sounds like a Touchstone film, but it came out right before Santa Claus 3. Sounds like Jason Statham.
No, it's definitely a Disney movie. I remember this now. I've seen this, but I don't remember, like, anything that happens. But I've 100% seen it. It's definitely a Disney movie.
Okay, so number 293 next week will be
Invincible. So, okay, what do you think it's about?
I think it's about somebody who's invincible.
But why are they invincible? What are they doing? What's their deal?
I think they got bit by a radioactive spider or
It's not Spider-Man.
some other rip-off thing like that, or like they got licked by a dog, like in Shaggy Dog. That was the wrong dog.
So what? They're invincible to like fleas or what?
Yeah, or it's like a monkey's uncle situation where they invented some kind of thing that makes you invincible, like a magic goo or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's like a government aspect of it, like magic,
like G-Force.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. Yeah, I can't believe you remembered that horrible movie. Thought you'd forget.
How could you forget? It's bled into my eyeballs.
I'm Zach Galifianakis.
If you'd like to follow us on social media, Disney Odd Pod, wherever you want to find us.
Yeah, please like, subscribe. If you would like to leave us a comment or a review on your podcast platform of choice, we'd much appreciate it. That'd be groovy.
Or you can send us an email at disneyoddpod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, this has been Disney Odd Pod.
I'm Kat.
I'm Dee.
Bye!
Is it me? No, it's you that's bleeding. But I think since you moved it away, it helped.
It's okay now?
Seems like it.
Okay. I probably just need new headphones, I think.
Well, I think we both do. We could probably use better mics, too.
Just need an upgrade.
Upgrade for the Odd Pod. Get some of those Rode mics. That's what everybody uses. The R... The O with the slash to a DE. That's like every single person uses Rode mics.
I don't know anything about that, but we can look into it.
Yeah.
They're probably expensive.
They're definitely expensive.
But cost a pretty penny.
Yeah. That's an eventuality.
Alright.
Started at the bottom, now we're here.